Since I began manifesting with Joe Dispenza's meditations and teachings, I 30x'd my income from $1,000 a month to $30,000 a month. And I now live the abundant life that I've always dreamed of. I can travel whenever I want. I can do whatever I want. I can live wherever I want. And I want you to have the same freedom. And that's why in today's video, I reveal the 5 key elements that allowed me to create this rich and wealthy life for myself. And I reveal the permission Joe Dispenza gave me that completely transformed my life and multiplied my income. The state I had to leave behind and the exact money-blocking hormones I had to get out of my system. And the simple money-generating formula that Joe Dispenza shared with me, and this formula provided me with a net worth of $700,000. The truth is that I used to be trapped in a negative cycle that kept me poor and sick. In the year 2020, I was suffering from severe nerve damage after a surgery where a cyst was removed from my bladder. And I mean so severe that I was screaming in pain whenever I put my shirt or my boxer shorts on. And this is the only reason why I'm now speaking to you. This is the only reason why Joe Dispenza came into my life, and I'm incredibly grateful for that. Because it was during these dark hours, during these dark nights of the soul, when my manifestation journey started. Because I talked to so many doctors, and everybody told me that I have to live with it, that it's impossible for me to heal. And that's when Joe Dispenza came into my life. Now, what about my financial situation? I believed on a deep level that I was not destined for success, that it will be impossible for me to ever become financially free, and my physical reality reflected these core beliefs. In fact, it got so bad that even the universe was very close to giving up on me. I can't do this shit anymore. He just won't listen to me. Eventually, I listened. I listened to the guidance from the universe, and I listened to what Joe Dispenza said in his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And that's that we should not wait for science to give us permission to do the uncommon. And yes, I know, he also says this: focus on the space around the space in space. But not waiting for science to give us permission to do the uncommon made so much more sense to me back then. And this leads us to the first key element of Joe Dispenza's teachings that made me rich. Joe Dispenza made me rich by giving me permission to heal and feel. And now you might be saying, yeah, but what does that have to do with manifesting money? The answer: everything. My body was not the only part of me that was broken. I had to heal my heart in order to open it and manifest with it as my center of creation. I had to heal the relationship with myself in order to manifest the abundant life I love by creating from the energy of I'm in love with life. Joe Dispenza made me believe that I can do the uncommon, even though doctors, my past, and my own limiting beliefs told me that it's impossible. And in his book, You Are the Placebo, Joe Dispenza shared with us that new emotions lead to a new way of thinking. And that's why I didn't just focus on changing my core beliefs, but also my emotional state. Freedom, joy, gratitude, empowerment, love, happiness, safety. All these emotions were completely new to me. But by me immersing myself in them, I saw a change on my bank account statement, because the emotions we feel draw the experience we desire back to us. By feeling free, happy, and joyful, we create more experiences that make us feel free, happy, and joyful. Having more money is one of these experiences, because more money leads to more freedom, happiness and joy. But in order to reach my full potential as a manifester, I had to get out of the state that I was trapped in for decades. What if I told you that the person I am today is the complete opposite of the person I used to be 5 years ago? Today, my life is amazing, and I don't say this to brag. I say this because it really fills my heart with joy when I think about my life, because nowadays I'm working around 3 to 4 hours a day and I'm enjoying long walks in the park or long walks in the city. I also enjoy dinner dates and lunch dates with my girlfriend, and I just live a really relaxed life. Do I want to work more? No, why would I? I reach the frequency of abundance every day in the same way that you will reach the frequency of abundance every day once you work with me in my 8-week one-on-one coaching program, the Abundance Reality Shift Coaching Program. I do not have to work more. I used to go down that path. I used to work 10 to 12 hours every day during a time when I was barely making $1,000 a month. I was suffering, I was struggling, and at the end, I was putting myself in the hospital. And I promised myself, I made a vow to myself and to the universe that I will never go back to the old stressed self. And this leads us to key element number 2, that allowed me to manifest my rich and wealthy life. Joe Dispenza made me rich by getting me out of the survival state. And in his book, Becoming Supernatural, Joe Dispenza shares with us that this survival state makes us addicted to the stress chemicals. And here's exactly what that has to do with your ability or inability to manifest money. The universe always gives us the equivalent of our emotional state. When we are stressed, we receive more situations, circumstances, and people that make us feel stressed. This could mean a lower income, people stealing money from you, or you losing money. However, when we are relaxed, we receive more situations, circumstances, and people that make us feel relaxed. This could mean a higher income, people giving us money, or receiving unexpected money. That's why I'm so incredibly thankful that I made the decision and the vow to myself and to the universe to live a relaxed life. And of course, that came so easy to me. Are you kidding me? Okay, I gotta be honest. At the beginning, it was incredibly hard. It was hard for me to relax because, as Joe Dispenza described in Becoming Supernatural, I was addicted to these stress chemicals. So here's exactly what I did to train myself to live a relaxed life. Relaxing action number 1, I meditate with Joe Dispenza's meditations every day. Because in You Are the Placebo, Joe Dispenza shared with us that meditation takes us from survival to creation. Relaxing action number 2, weekly massages. I just love to relax during a massage, and I always go to luxury spas because this makes me feel abundant, and the more abundant I feel, the more I reach the frequency of abundance and the more abundance can flow to me. Now, relaxing action number 3, I'm very strict when it comes to not working too much. Every now and then I take a step back. I mean, I'm just a human being, but then I pull myself out of it again, and I remember that it's not the action in the physical realm, but the action in the spiritual realm that leads to the biggest results. And this leads us to relaxing action number 4, and that's that every now and then I just love to sit on the couch, to do nothing, and my girlfriend makes the best hot chocolate in the world, to just enjoy hot chocolate and to just relax, to just let go. And if you still don't believe me that relaxation is important for manifesting money, you might want to open Joe Dispenza's book, Becoming Supernatural, again, because here he explains that when we are in the survival mode, we define reality by our senses, which means that you will only recreate the amount of money that you already have in your bank account again and again, but not the desired amount that you want to manifest. So yes, relaxation is important, at least if you want to get rich. And it's also important to pay attention to something that you might have ignored for several lifetimes. My ding dong! No, universe, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the one organ that was damaged when I came into this world, and that's the heart. This heart. Because I was born with a congenital heart defect, and I had several heart surgeries in my life as a baby and as a teenager. And that's also why my spiritual mentor always said to me, remember, when you listen to your heart, that's when you will make the right decisions. But it's not just about making the right decisions, because by focusing your awareness on your heart, you are activating your center of creation. Once your heart is activated, you have a direct connection to the field. Now you can send your intention out and draw the experience you desire back to you. That's how powerful your heart truly is. And this leads us to the third key element of Joe Dispenza's teachings that made me rich. Joe Dispenza made me rich by loving and activating my heart. In his book, You Are the Placebo, he mentions that gratitude opens the heart. And that's exactly why I went on a strict gratitude diet that I now want to share with you. Gratitude diet step number 1. I remind myself multiple times throughout the day to be grateful. I try to be grateful for the smallest things that most people take for granted. It can be a delicious meal. It can be a ray of sunshine. It can be a building that's really beautiful. Because the more grateful you are, the more the universe can provide you with experiences that make you feel more grateful. And this leads us to gratitude diet step number 2. After a meditation, I take a moment to relax in gratitude. I just lay down or while I'm still sitting, and I just feel this feeling of being grateful. Grateful to be alive, grateful to do this meditation, grateful for this wonderful moment. And this leads us to gratitude diet step number 3. I try to do at least one thing a day that I love. Because by you doing something that you truly love, you are signaling to the universe that you are in love with life, that you are grateful to be alive. And then the universe can provide you with more opportunities, with more synchronicities, more ideas that make you fall even more in love with life and that make you feel even more gratitude for life. And remember, Joe Dispenza always says gratitude is the ultimate state of receivership. And it's true, because by being grateful, you signal to the universe that you already have what you desire. When you internally have the money you desire, it won't take long until you enjoy this amount of money in your physical reality. That's the true power of gratitude. That's why I dedicated an entire module of my 11 Days to Manifestation Mastery audio program to mastering the state of receivership. And by you going to affirmationtomanifestation.com/mastery or by clicking on the second link in the description, you can find out more about this audio program. And in his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Joe Dispenza reminds us that the universe responds in magical ways when we combine the elevated emotion of gratitude with an open heart. And that's why I now want to ask you, what are you grateful for? Write it in the comments below. I promise that I will read the comment and I will respond to it. What I'm about to share with you now has the power to completely transform your financial reality. And it's so simple. I went to 3 Joe Dispenza week-long advanced retreats, and I've been doing his meditations for more than 5 years. But if you would ask me to sum up the meditation process that Joe Dispenza teaches in one sentence, I would say this: Feel it in your heart and your brain. I'm sorry, I just couldn't resist it, but here's what I really wanted to say. Combine a clear intention with an elevated emotion, and this leads us to the next key element. Joe Dispenza made me rich by giving me this simple formula. And in You Are the Placebo, he invites us to combine the clear intention with the elevated emotion. And in Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, he shares the same principle, he just adds the open heart and the clear thought. And in his book Becoming Supernatural, he describes it again in a different way. There he describes our intention as the electric charge and the elevated emotion as the magnetic charge. It's always about combining the clear intention with the elevated emotion, and of course, manifesting your abundant dream life is also about letting go of all the limiting beliefs that are currently holding you back and that are blocking the success that you want to achieve from materializing in your physical reality. And that's exactly what we work on together in week number 1 of my 8-week one-on-one coaching program, the Abundance Reality Shift Coaching Program. But if you just follow this simple formula of combining a clear intention with the elevated emotion, your reality will begin to shift. And here are some practical examples. Clear intention, I make $30,000 a month. Emotion, freedom. Clear intention, I'm a millionaire. Emotion, gratitude. Clear intention, I bought my dream home. Emotion, joy. Now there is one thing that makes your clear intention even more powerful, and that's an image. The image of your future. What do you see when you think about your abundant dream life? Where do you see yourself living? Which destinations do you see yourself visiting? What experiences do you see yourself making? Also here you can let me know in the comments below, and I promise I will reply. Now there is just one last key element left, and without it you will never be able to manifest your abundant dream life, but unfortunately most people are terrified of it. And I have to admit something. I have to admit that I'm a control freak. And now you might be saying, yeah, of course, Sebastian, you're German. Of course you're a control freak. Well, maybe my German DNA has something to do with it, but all my life until my spiritual awakening, I tried to control everything. I was in control of everything, or at least I thought so. I tried to control everything. My diet, my protein intake, my work schedule, when I would meet friends, when I wouldn't meet friends. I tried to control every aspect of my life. Isn't it ironic that the only thing you didn't try to control was your emotional state? Yes, it is ironic that the only thing that I didn't try to control was the one thing that I should have tried to control. And by not doing that, I also ignored one of the most powerful parts of manifesting, and that's the unknown, or maybe I should better say it in this way. I tried to hold on to the known, even though the known reality I was experiencing made me sick and poor. It felt familiar. I was addicted to a life I didn't even want to live, while I was afraid of everything I couldn't control. Here's the problem with this attitude. In order to manifest successfully, you have to let go of the obsession of how it will materialize. Nobody knows that. The only one who knows that is the universe. You also have to let go of the obsession of when your desired manifestation will show up in your physical reality. Again, nobody knows that. The only thing you know is that the more intensely you reach the frequency of abundance, the faster your manifestation will materialize. And you also have to stay open to all possibilities, how the universe might deliver the materialization of your manifestation. Because the more open you are, the more the universe can provide you with all the synchronicities, all the signs and all the ideas that you need in order to live your abundant dream life. And this leads us to the last of the 5 key elements of Joe Dispenza's teachings that made me rich. Joe Dispenza made me rich by making me trust in the unknown. In his book, You Are the Placebo, he invites us to step into the unknown by combining a clear intention with an uncompromising trust in possibility. This dude is talking about clear intentions all the time. I also invite you to think about what Joe Dispenza says about the unknown in his book Becoming Supernatural. When we continue to focus on the known, we only create and recreate known experiences. But by focusing on the unknown, we create possibilities. And the known is the current number on your bank account statement. And by you continuing to focus on it, nothing will change. The unknown, however, is the number that you want to see in your bank account and, of course, on your bank account statement. And that's why I now want to share a few practical steps with you that have helped me to fully immerse myself in the unknown and to create my desired reality. Practice 1: do something unknown. Try a new hobby or go to a new city. Try a new restaurant. I mean, you would be amazed at how many people do the same things, go to the same places, eat the same food all the time. By you doing something new, you are signaling to the universe that you are comfortable in the unknown. Practice 2: sit with yourself and your thoughts without judging them or pushing them away. Just allow them to come up, allow them to be there. Don't judge them, just sit in the unknown. Unknown thoughts, unknown ways of thinking that are coming up, and just be. This alone can make you feel more comfortable in the unknown. Practice 3: fully immerse yourself in the unknown with a random things to do or random activity generator. And yes, I'm actually serious about this. There are many of these websites where you can just use this random generator to then do something, to try a new hobby, you could also, for example, throw a dart on a map and then travel to this place if you want to take it to the next level. All of that signals to the field, I get comfortable and I get more and more comfortable and confident in the unknown. And in his book Becoming Supernatural, Joe Dispenza also shares with us that the more energy we invest in the unknown, the more possibilities we create for ourselves. And if you're ready to create multiple possibilities for abundance for yourself, then I invite you to go to affirmationtomanifestation.com/abundance or to click on the first link in the description to find out more about my 8-week one-on-one coaching program, the Abundance Reality Shift Coaching Program. And at the moment, I'm also offering a very special bonus session, and you can also find out more about that. And what if I told you that there is one meditation from Joe Dispenza that I do every single day? If you're ready to find out which meditation it is and how I use it to manifest abundance, then you can watch this video next.